Extreme weather can dish out some of the worst punishment in the world. Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Tuttle. But now you can fight back by installing Class 4 impact-resistant shingles from Ferguson Roof Systems. These shingles can withstand large hail, heavy rain, and hurricane-force winds, all while keeping your home safe and dry. And the best part? This upgrade is completely free for many homeowners. So call today to start reaping the benefits these Class 4 shingles bring, including a discount on home insurance. Only at FergusonRoofSystems.com.
All right. Hey there. You came to the right place. I'm meteorologist Tuttle here with you on this Monday night. Think for a minute. You know what? In the past, I would know exactly what day it was. But ever since about March, I got no idea what day it is. That can be frustrating at times. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm glad you're here. It's about 10 minutes till 10. We're going to do a quick weather update for you. You said, Aaron, you don't do anything quick. I said, listen. I do things quick sometimes. Last night we did it quick. We got the weather done, and I think it was just about 10 minutes or less. And then I talked about a bunch of other random stuff, and if you didn't see it, you missed out. That's all I can say. All right, so let's get on with it, shall we? The party is here. I'll give you a couple minutes. Everybody kind of get on in here because for whatever reason, you know, Facebook likes to tell you guys in staggered amounts. Doesn't tell you all at once. Don't know why that is. But if you get live notifications, you tap the bell on YouTube and on my Twitter page. Between those three of those platforms, one of them is bound to let you know when I'm actually live versus 10 minutes from now. So that's how you can beat the system. And then you can pick whichever platform you want to watch me from. All of them will work, and they're all going to be in HD. So just there you go. Okay, let me tell you what. Let me see if I can do this here real quick. Let me see if it's going to work for me. It's always dangerous when I want to go press a button. And I don't know if it's going to work. Let's see. Let's do this one. Hold on. Wait, which did I want? I want this one. Okay. So we'll get to that here in a second. So we'll pop up this. So this is the view outside. And it looks like it worked. How about that? Okay. So this is a view from my roof cam. It's got the low clouds building back in. You know, it's one of those deals where you just get used to it because you're not going to see a whole lot of sun the next couple of days. But you are going to see a lot of cloud cover and a lot of rainfall as well. And, you know, sometimes you just got to take it. So we're going to do a lot of rain out of this. We're talking about that also. So we'll go ahead and jump into that. We should have given enough time from all that little tap dancing, pausing to get everybody acclimated. I had at my house 1.76 inches of rain in the rainfall bucket. Now your amounts may vary. Here in the green is where we had rainfall amounts upwards of about an inch. Where you see light greens here, and that's over Oklahoma County in the center part of your map. And then up north, some areas 2 to 3 inches already. So the safe play, which was going to be the wrong play on this model data, was 1 to 3 inches of rain for this whole event. And I told you last night, I said, that's nice. Some people will get the 1 to 3, but a lot of us can get more than that. Some people are going to get a lot more than that, and that's the issue, and that's what causes the flash flooding. So what? If you weren't here last night, this is what's happening. We have an upper level low pressure system. So this little batch of energy you see on the map right here represents an upper level low, and this upper level low is just going to kind of meander here for a little bit, and it's going to slowly work its way off to the east. So this is the vorticity map at 500 millibars. So the bright colors indicate lift in the atmosphere. Now we go through Wednesday on into, here's Thursday, here comes another one. See this little guy here? It's a pretty potent one, so this will kind of zip on through. This is going to be on Thursday morning into eastern Oklahoma, by probably Thursday afternoon. Let's see, there's Thursday morning, and yep, Thursday afternoon it's already now moving in Arkansas. It's a quick mover. And then we'll have, let's see, there's another one here Thursday night and Friday. So we have these little waves that are coming in, and each of those will try to produce precipitation. Now, the key is for you get the flooding aspect of it. Let's see, do this. Okay, the flooding aspect of it is where you want to look at the 700 millibar pattern for the vertical velocity. That's where you get a lot of lift overhead. And where you see the bright colors on the map is where you had the best lift. And you can see it meanders across the state. All right, so the stay or the message for this is that we got a lot of lift over Oklahoma over the next several days. What that means is off and on showers and storms that will not end this week. So just you're gonna stuck in a soggy pattern, but at least it's gonna be a cooler pattern. So that's the good news that I have for you on that. And here's kind of an example of how that can play out when you have these little disturbances that move through. You can see how the little showers and storms will kind of pop up, they'll dissipate, some will move off. Then you get more that develop, move on in, and then those move off. You'll get another round that moves on in. And any one of these rounds can really crank out the precip. And we can end up with some really nasty amounts. Just for example, this model itself, and I'm just using this one for example, just between now through Friday morning, it has a big chunk of central Oklahoma, kind of in the bullseye of 5 to 6 to 7, close to, looks like 8 inches of rain. Now, believe it or not, this is conservative. It's hard to imagine, but you know, today I got about an inch and a half of rain in about an hour's time. So you can imagine, you get a few hours of rain, and you can end up with 6 inches no problem, right? When it comes to the totals overall. So that's not actually a stretch. Now, what we're going to do is look at some of the model comparisons to kind of give you an idea of how it can get a little out of hand and how we can deal with some flooding. We'll look at each of these here. Let's see. Let's go 36 hours. And that'll take us through Wednesday morning. So again, remember, there's more rain to come this week, but I'm going to focus on this first main wave that's coming in. So this particular run of the Nestle, that's got a hot spot around Stillwater, 10 inches of rain. All right, Oklahoma City though, and here's the deal. Each of these models will not know the exact location of these bullseyes. All it can somewhat do is kind of guess the general region. That's the way they'll always be. It's the way they've always been. If you try to look more into that, you're going to fail. You're going to fall flat on your face. So I don't do it. I'm warning you not to do it. You always get the take home, which is, someone's going to get a lot of rain, right? And it's going to be in our area. That's enough for you. And just plan that you could be in that zone, which means you got to watch out for flash flooding. All right, so there's the Nestle model. The NMB, it's got basically the same kind of deal. Central Oklahoma, it's got 7 inches here, 3 to 5 across Oklahoma City. This one's a little weaker across Oklahoma City, but it's got close to 7 out here in Canadian County, Reno. The HER model, it's got a bullseye down here of close to 7, one out to the east close to 7, one up to the north close to 7, one up here around Tulsa close to 9, looks like. So little hit and miss pockets, and that's where you get training that happens and that occurs. The operational high-res NAM, it's got values around 10. So earlier today, it had, I think, a max of 17 inches in Norman. And I posted that. I think I tagged the 15-inch one and posted that on Twitter and Facebook just to say, this won't verify, but my goodness, it gets your attention. When you see that kind of stuff, it's just like, come on, you got to be kidding me, really? So again, this is the HER model on the operational run. Now, if we take a look at the ensemble run, which says, okay, we'll take it and we're going to nudge it in different directions. How well does it do? Keep in mind these little hot spots up here, close to 10 inches here northwest of Tulsa. Now, last night's models kept most of the heavy rain, by the way, west of Tulsa, as far as any flooding potential. The newer models are trying to inch it closer to you, so we're going to see how that plays out in the data tomorrow and see how things unfold. But in the ensemble run, it looks very similar to the operational. These little pink areas. Let me zoom this in. Okay, these little pink areas again, that's 6+ inches of rain. So you can see how they're just kind of dotted across the area. If you look at the tech WRF, it's got Oklahoma City in the bullseye, by the way, and I believe it's off the chart. So it's like 8 inches of rain here in Oklahoma County and Canadian and surrounding areas, Guthrie. That's basically dead center of your map right here. So this is where the Oklahoma City be located, metro. So that's not good. So what I'm telling you is a lot of indications are that it's just going to be a mess. So the operational run right now for the high-res NAM continues to kind of bullseye up here across in the purple region in this map. Let me zoom this. Let's go back around Stillwater. and the purple area, and even a hot spot around Tulsa. So it has completely shifted east to favor the Tulsa area, and then all of a sudden dries out Canadian County. So this is an example of how you want to focus on the fact that it's going to produce some flash flooding in some spots. However, you don't want to try to get too specific on where that's going to occur, because earlier today it had that big batch here. Let's see what color I want to pick. Let's go yellow. Had that big batch here, down here. And earlier it had it, I think it was up here, and then it had it down here. So every run is something different. And so that's what I preach to you about that. All right, let me see if we've got, is this going to be in yet? 6 hours is there. Let me is that in there? That's going to take us to 18. So on the mean on the models, which is will be a more conservative value. Each 6 hour period looks like about 1.5 inches in Oklahoma City. There's some purples in there. It's up around 2. Even on the conservative side, it's got decent amounts up around probably 4 inches through. Again, this is just through I believe Tuesday. 3 maybe 4 inches of rainfall just through tomorrow afternoon here in central Oklahoma. Here's the max. This little yellow spot is 15, or let's see what color is that? Orange up to 7 inches. I mean, in other words, that's the max theoretical probability, which won't happen. But it's just if everything went wrong, something like that. But it's in you put things in probability like a 95 percentile, versus a 10 percentile. And these values come in on the most extreme. So if you have a bell curve, it's like this. You typically want to stay under the bell curve in the median or the middle. You don't want to stay out. You don't want to be an outlier ever. If you're an outlier, you're on your own. You're in trouble. So this will be kind of an outlier. So we kind of ignore the outliers on these types of deals. Currently, by the way, we do have some good rain out there here in central Oklahoma. It's redeveloping. So here's a live look at the radar data. And I've had a few showers. I can hear them tapping on the windowsill. Let me see. Anything else I want to show you? Winds are not going to be a problem, by the way. Temperatures obviously are not going to be a problem. You're going to get a good break in your AC bill this week. You're going to get a break in your water bill. So all that's good. I'm going to look at some of these charts here real quick. See anything else I want to show you or talk about. I think that was it. I kind of just want to focus on the short term. Tell you why and then about how much. And so like I said, across the whole state, there'll be very few exceptions. The 1 to 3 is a fair play. And the lighter amounts will be across southern Oklahoma, Red River kind of a deal, maybe southwest Oklahoma. The heavier amounts will be underneath and centered around that upper level low, which seems to be across central Oklahoma. So it does include Oklahoma City. So I do expect flash flooding at some point here in Oklahoma City. And if you're asking when's it going to rain, well, it's already started now. There'll be more rain tonight or rain tomorrow. There's no set window. This is just going to be kind of like it was this afternoon. It's going to rain. You're going to stop, get a few dry hours, and it's just going to start raining again. It's going to kind of be like that across the state. So there's a continuous kicker to keep things going in the atmosphere. In this situation, it's kind of like once it rains, it keeps raining. It's not a fast-moving, synoptic-driven situation, whereas, for example, you get a strong cold front in here that clears it out. You have a short window, everything kind of moves through. You have a strong upper low that just barrels through, and it's gone. This is one of those situations where the air is very weak this time of the year because we don't have a jet stream overhead that's got, 100 plus knots in it. We've got a jet stream overhead that's got like 20. And so nothing moves. It's just straight up. So it's almost kind of like a straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, rising of air parcels. And so that kind of keeps that precipitation going over the same region. All right, let me answer a couple of your questions, and I'm going to turn you loose. But, hey, we got all this done in 10 minutes, but I tell you, it'll be somewhat quick. So thanks for sticking around. Guys on YouTube checking in, appreciate you. Let me load up the Twitter folk. Now, if you guys left any comments on Twitter, I didn't get to see them because I was doing my chit-chatting. But if you'd like to type them back again, I'll be able to see them now. I try to limit the... there we go. I try to limit the video playing on my system while I'm doing all this so I can avoid any hiccups. Okay, Sandy, good evening from Chandler. Good to see you. Prince of Rains always seems to be in the house, and so does Jim. Checking out Mustangs. Got half an inch out there, Jim. Paul R. How about you follow? Oh, yeah, you're going to get some rain out there. I don't think there's many places in Oklahoma that's not going to get rain at all this week. I think the minimum is an inch, and that's statewide. Some places can get over 6. That's the easy call. There's going to be a few isolated spots. They may get 8. It's one of those deals. I don't foresee a 15-incher unless we get a couple of these other stronger waves that come in that the models don't pick up on until now. Like the example I just showed you tonight, that's brand new. Those 2 coming waves, they weren't that strong in prior data. That can change things. That could be a game changer when it comes to flooding of additional showers and storms. But for the short term, meaning now through Wednesday afternoon, we'll call it, I don't foresee anything more than 8 inches. I think 6 is a pretty good max for some of these hot spots. But that's plenty. One question I've always had is, what data goes unused in determining forecasts, at least in most models? What data goes unused? Well, no. We use everything. And actually, the models of today's day and age use way more than they used to. And I do mean way more. We're able to input a lot of new variables that we weren't used to able to input before. And you name it that's out there, from satellite to radar to surface observations to phones. I mean, we're getting to where, like, your phone, it's going to have pressure on it. It's got a pressure reader on it. I mean, we're going to cover, the future is crazy. We're going to have drones mixing in on some of that stuff, I believe, here soon. So it looks good, because the more of that data we have to feed in, as long as it's QC, which means quality controlled, the better the output's going to be. So always remember, this goes in everything in life, especially in weather modeling. Garbage in, garbage out. If you don't have a good grasp on the variables that you're putting into the model, don't expect to have a good outcome. So when you eat something, you don't eat some good food, you go to Taco Bell, don't expect to have a good outcome when you go to the bathroom. So that's a little bit of an extreme example, but it works in all facets of life. On my Patreon page, good to see you guys. Mimi's in the house from Bing. Patty's here. Diana's here. Perry loving the rain. I'm amped too, as long as we don't get too much of it. Jody's got her hashtag Team AT going, of course. Always representing from Canada. Let's see. By the way, if you guys thought that just we're political here in the U.S., Canada's just as political. And people here go after Trump, they go after Trudeau. And some of it's hysterical, because they'll compare Trudeau to Trump. And just to watch the dynamic between the two countries, since I get to watch now, and I get to be invested in both of them, so I can understand both. Before, I used to never cared about Canada. I didn't know what they did up there. They're all living in igloos, But no, actually, it's just like it is here, full of corruption. So they don't like that Trudeau dude. But anyway, all right. So let me go on the main page here. Was there some problems? Someone said mine is perfect, so I must have missed something. I'm hoping everything was working. Everything looks good on my end. Snow. Oh, good grief. What, Nate? Okay, we'll get to the winter question when we get closer to winter. I can tell you, days will be cold, days will be warm, and days will be snow, and days it'll be rain, and days it'll be sun. That's what I can tell you at this point. Jen, snow nade apocalypse. Listen, nothing would surprise me in 2020 at this point. I'm dead serious. I expect Armageddon in 2020. I expect Revelation at this point. I expect the world ending, because where do you go from here? Seriously, you cannot make this any crazier in 2021. It's just not going to happen. So it's like the grand finale of the fireworks show at July 4th, back when we used to celebrate Independence Day with freedom. See all the fireworks just going nuts at the last minute. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. I'll scroll through. I like when you guys have your own little side comments and discussions. I just feel left out because I don't get to see them live. So yeah, Ron was making a point. I do not see the questions when the maps are up. So no, flooding is the only threat, Heather. We're not going to see any significant hail. I mean, you got lightning, of course, with some of the storms. And you occasionally might get some wind with a collapsing thunderstorm, but in this environment, it's just really more of a heavy rain flash flooding deal. So that would be what Marcus was questioning. Hope to answer your question. Will Ardmore ever see rain, Lauren? Be careful what you wish for. Yeah, somebody's talking about Norman. Again, remember those models when they produce 16, 17 inches of rain in one spot. So let's say they come out and one of them says 17 inches in Norman. Then one says 16 inches in El Reno. Then one says 15 inches in Guthrie. Well, your first tip-off is that none of them agree on this placement, right? The second is that if you can envision 15 or 17 inches of rain in a 24-hour period without a hurricane, that would be a 2020 phenomenon. That would go back to my prior discussion point of Armageddon. So I wouldn't foresee that happening. It would take an extreme freak of nature, a lot of training, and we just don't have that type of setup. I know a guy that liked an occasional Taco Bell that lived to be 105 and a half. Sharon, you sure did. I didn't know Papa liked Taco Bell. And he changed his diet habits in his older age. I guess once you get over 100, you like to say, heck with it. I'll eat what I want. Oh, my goodness. You can't believe you fed him Taco Bell. What's wrong with you? The boy wants it, the boy gets it. I tell you what, if I was 105, whatever I asked for, I would expect it. I've earned it. With no questions, no back talk. Will fishing be good tomorrow? Dustin. Only if it's not raining. Sheridan, Michigan. Do you get recognized when you're out and about? David. Yes. Actually, I'm always surprised. 'Cause a lot of times I wear a hat. Especially in the recent months. Yeah, I always do. But luckily, they've all been good. I haven't had anybody come up to me and say, I hate you. You're the worst. I wish you were dead. I don't ever get any of those, which is good. No one ever physically threatens me because they probably know that'd be a very bad decision. This is nice and friendly now, but I'm built like a Terminator. I will destroy you. So no one ever messes with me, but that's good. But I was a little scrawny dude, though, in high school, just so you know. So I did get picked on in high school. Nowadays, the only time I get picked on is some bloggers because they got no life and they're in their little mom's basement doing this, eating their Cheetos, drinking their Dr Pepper. But other than that, it's all good. But all my fans are great. You guys are great. Let's see. Lots of rain north central. Yes, so if you're late, this quick summary here, because I'll probably let you go since I pretty much talked about everything, was widespread rain here for Oklahoma this week, off and on rounds, really probably through Saturday. That's when the last system moves through. And then there will be pockets here over the next 36 hours. So between now through about Wednesday morning, we're going to have up to 6 inches in several little hotspot zones, and somewhere within those, they're going to be maybe 8, I think at most. I don't think we're any higher than that. But we'll have to see what happens if the additional rounds that come in, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that may add to the already saturated grounds that we get. So again, flash flooding, just keep that in the back of your mind. It kills more people than any other weather related event. Actually, Patrick, I love Dr. Pepper. Actually, that's what I grew up on. That's what I drink about. That's what I prefer is Dr. Pepper. I like that prune juice. So anyway, flash flooding does kill more people. So it's something you take serious, more than lightning, tornadoes, that kind of deal. And doesn't take much to knock you off your feet, carry you downstream into a creek, especially for kids. Now, when I was a kid and it rained real heavy, we'd go out and play in it. But we were kids, we were fearless back then, and somehow we made it through. We didn't wear helmets. We played in thunderstorms. When I was a kid, I went on my roof so I could touch the clouds. There was no parental supervision during that time. I turned out just fine. But, no. Well, I lost my train of thought. I get off on these side tangents. But anyway, I actually had some... Oh, listen to this. I've answered all the questions. So I'm going to turn you loose after this. But I always say that. I turn you loose and I'm still here 10 minutes later. But I really mean it this time. I got a shower. But I had purchased a case of Dublin Dr Pepper. That's how hardcore I was in the Dr Pepper scene. And I didn't drink a lot. I savored them. But when I did, I wanted the best. So I had ordered it and brought it up here. Shipped it up here back before they got shut down by Dr Pepper, the company itself, because they had their original cane sugar, all that kind of stuff, the original recipe, which is actually different than the main Dr Pepper recipe, believe it or not, just a little slightly different. I thought it was a little better. And of course, corporations come in, buy out the little man, then crush the product and kill it. So the new sugar Dr Pepper is not still the Dublin recipe. That thing's gone. It's close, but still not the same. Anyway, point being is, I had bought this so long ago I forgot about it. And I had put it in, I think it was in my garage. I think it was in my garage when I found it, or was it in my closet? I don't remember. Whatever. I opened it up and I was like, it was leaking everywhere. It's like, what is all this black stuff? It's like gooey. It looks like syrup. And I open up the box, get the old blade out, I look in there and I go, what? Dr. Pepper? Oh, I was so angry. I was like, what a waste. This thing was in there this whole time. I'd forgotten. I mean, we're going back 15 years, man. Of course, it's probably not drinkable. It probably, it probably is filled with chemicals from leaking from the sides at that point, from aluminum and whatever else is in there. So, but it was just the principle of the thing that I let that go to waste, and I could have drank it, or I could have sold it on eBay for 3 times its value. Live and learn. Anyway, that's my Dr. Pepper lesson for the night. So, as you can tell, I'm a hardcore DP guy. All right. Let's see, my patrons. Ed. Yeah, that's kind of what I was referring to. We'll see what happens. I can see both sides of that discussion point. Preachers don't spend a lot of time on that book of Revelations because A, they're scared of it. B, it's so ominous. And C, it's open for little interpretation. So they just kind of shy away from it. And actually, honestly, I got plenty of preacher buddies, and I rip on them in a good way. But because the church has become, in my opinion, just my opinion, don't hate the messenger. I believe, because I've been around long enough, to see things change. Back when anyway, ever since this whole 501c, business took hold of the church, it basically controlled them. So it stifled their voice, and they no longer pushed buttons. They no longer were disciples. They were no longer the 12 disciples, which weren't afraid to speak up about whatever. Churches became impotent, safe. They preach on love, which is nothing wrong with that. And I have a few other little subjects they touch on. But it's like rinse and repeat. They would never get in your face anymore about, the stuff that you might want to get in your face over, like at a time like this, for example. And they're not going to do it because they don't lose their 501c status, and they don't want to get burned to the ground from, the mob. So they don't say anything. And therefore the flock has no guidance on, well, what does the Bible say we're supposed to be doing? Love one another. Okay, well, what's part B? Is there number 2 in there? Nope, just love one another. Okay, well, what if somebody's coming to get you? Well, you just love them even harder. It's like, all right, church, that's your stance. Go for it. So anyway, that's my personal beef. It's neither here nor there. But you brought up Revelations and why 2020 is a little bit of a messed up version. I will see where it goes. But I'll tell you what, as long as I'm still breathing, I'll enjoy every minute I got on this planet, and then we'll see what happens afterwards. All right, guys, that is it for me. Your sermon is over from the pulpit, and your weathercast is over. We'll see how things progress as far as the rain goes, and I'll probably do the live tomorrow night. Now we have something to talk about because, hey, it's maybe in the middle of summer, but Mother Nature doesn't know that, and we're getting a little bit of a difference in our outcome. So thanks again for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, supporting. PayPal, Patreon, Subscribestar, Facebook fan subscriptions, all that and more. It's all in the description header on YouTube and Facebook, and you can touch it and see what options are there. And then we'll talk again soon. Good night, everybody.